It's 7 a.m. in Reykjavik, the capital city of Iceland. Families are waking up to a breakfast of traditional oats and a cup of coffee. More than 6,000 kilometers due east, it's 7 p.m. near Kyrgyzstan's eastern border with China. Families here are settling down for a dinner of chopped lamb with onions and noodles. Food. We need enough of it to avoid being hungry, and the right mix of nutrients to ensure a healthy, active life. But we also want our food to be safe and produced without damaging or depleting the natural resources we rely on. Europe and Central Asia is a vibrant region of nearly 1 billion people, living in over 50 countries, speaking more than 300 languages across 13 time zones. Working on behalf of all the region's countries is the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. FAO has more than 70 years of experience in the business of food and agriculture worldwide, combining operational efficiency with deep technical knowledge. While chronic hunger has by and large been eradicated from this part of the world, pockets of food insecurity continue to exist, especially in Central Asia and the Caucasus. Malnutrition, including stunted growth in children and rising rates of obesity, is a serious concern for all countries in Europe and Central Asia. But a one-size-fits-all approach does not apply to this dynamic region. Levels of prosperity are as diverse as the region's cultures, climates, and landscapes. Former communist countries have largely transitioned to market orientation and are eager to export their agri-food products. More than half the region's countries are members or candidates for membership in the European Union, many of them capable of investing and extending technical or policy assistance elsewhere in the region where it's needed. From its regional office in Budapest, its sub-regional hub in Ankara, and a network of country offices across the region, FAO advises on policy, tackles technical problems, publishes studies and guidelines, and conducts training on the pressing issues these countries are facing. From combating animal disease in Georgia and Tajikistan, to advising Ukraine as it reforms its agriculture sector. From raising awareness of the dangers of pesticides for children and helping countries clean up stores of obsolete pesticides, to calling attention to gender disparities in access to land and credit. With world-class expertise in crops, livestock, trade economics, food safety, nutrition, fisheries, forestry, and more, FAO is a desirable partner for countries working to achieve their sustainable development goals. FAO is also there when disaster strikes. Floods in the Western Balkans destroyed crops, livestock, and infrastructure. Together with the European Union and other partners, FAO is helping vulnerable farm families get back on track and prepare for possible emergencies in the future. Rural families coping with armed conflict in eastern Ukraine received emergency help too. A rigorous survey of household needs was conducted on both sides of the conflict line. FAO's portfolio of work is large and diverse. All countries in the region benefit from FAO expertise, but field projects and policy advice are focused where the need is greatest, mainly in Eastern Europe, the Western Balkans, the Caucasus, and Central Asia. While the European Union and its countries are the major resource partners here, they're not the only ones. The governments of Turkey, Russian Federation, Finland, Switzerland, and others have also stepped up, helping their neighbors recover from emergencies, build resilient agricultural sectors, and develop more sustainable food systems. In Tajikistan, Turkey, and Ukraine, FAO is managing major projects financed by the Global Environment Fund, or GEF. It's 7 p.m. in Budapest. FAO staff are working late, grabbing tea or coffee and gathering in the conference room. They could be designing an e-learning course on trade disputes, drawing up a public tender for seeds and fertilizer, or planning an African swine fever awareness campaign. Whatever the latest challenge, these men and women see a bright future for the Europe and Central Asia region. As countries adopt more sustainable farming practices, diversify diets for better nutrition, reduce losses and waste in their food value chains, clean up environmental damage, and become more competitive in agri-food production and trade, they move closer to realizing their national goals and ensuring healthy, food-secured lives for present and future generations.